Good morning, students. Hope you all are safe at home. Due to this pandemic disease, we are not able to interact with each other. So, we had started our online classes for you. So, you have received the first lesson through email. So, today I am going to teach you the second lesson, which is the River Valley Civilization Part 2. In the first lesson, the River Valley Civilization Part 1, we have studied about the Indus Valley Civilization. Before that, I am going to explain you about the BCE and CE. So, the civilization which took place, all the four civilizations took place in the period BCE, and in which era we are living, we use CE. That means BC is before Common Era and CE is Common Era. Okay, so earlier it was used as BC and AD, but now presently it is used as BCE and CE. These are the four civilizations, important four civilizations which took place in before Common Era period. Those were the Indus Valley civilization, the Tigris-Euphrates civilization in Mesopotamia, the Nile Valley civilization in Egypt, the Wanghu Valley civilization in China, and Greek civilization and Iranian civilization. These two chapters explains only about the four civilizations. So now we will be starting the second civilization, that is Tigris-Euphrates civilization in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is Iraq of modern times. Here a great civilization took birth around 5000 BC, which is known as Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamia is a Greek word which means land between two rivers. And which were the two rivers? Euphrates and Tigris. In between these two rivers, this Mesopotamian civilization flourished. About 150 years back, archaeologists discovered the ruins of some ancient towns and cities of this civilization. They collected thousands of clay tablets with strange words engraved on them. And Henry Lawlinson, a great archaeologist, was able to decipher these inscriptions. So in this way, the secrets of this ancient civilization of Mesopotamia became known to the world. The span of this civilization was around 5000 BC to 500 BC. So what is the meaning of clay tablets? Clay tablets is nothing but a flat surface made of clay with words cut or written on it. And decipher to convert from a code to plain text. As you can see in the map, the lower part of this civilization was known as Summer region. The people living in the Summer region were called as Sumerians, and they were the first to develop the advanced civilization in Mesopotamia. So it is also known as the Sumerian civilization. Okay, now religious dominance. The religion dominated the Mesopotamian civilization. There were priests, kings who were the ruling class. From the beginning, each city-state had its own god. So the tradition was worshipping the many gods. They had built many temples which were known as ziggurats, and mostly the chief gods were Enlil, Marduk, Asur, Ishtar, etc. So these ziggurats were decorated with the statues of many other gods. Temples were made from the burnt bricks and colored tiles, marble slabs to beautify them. And these were very high, almost reaching the skies, but built in the series of tiers. So even the Mesopotamians also worship the forces of nature, such as like sun, the moon, rain, the stars. They place the statue of the sun god at the highest pedestal and on the top story. The temples were served many useful purposes. For example, they were used as a center of education, as an observatory for the astrologers to study the planets and the stars. Sometimes these temples were served as the place for trade and commerce also. Mesopotamian people believed in life after death. So they placed the eatables and articles of use along with the body in the tombs. So next is the three social classes. There were three social classes The upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. The upper class consists of the ruling class, the noble class, the royal people, and the high officials. They led a very comfortable and luxurious life. The second class was the middle class, which consists of the landlords, merchants, traders, craftsmen, etc. So they led a happy life. The lower class consists of the slaves, the labor class we called. They served their services for upper class and the middle class. Slavery prevailed in Mesopotamia, but the slaves were not treated harshly. One more thing I would like to tell you, even the women had importance in this civilization. They had a high position, and also they could own the property, and they enjoyed the great freedom in this civilization. As you can see in this picture, they have given one picture of Ziggurat, a temple which is a pyramidal temple built in the ancient Mesopotamia valley. And you can see that having a form of terrace step pyramid of successively receding stories of or levels. The next, as you can see, one more figure, they have given picture of one figure, standing figure with clasped hands and wide-eye gazed, is a worshipper. It was placed in the square temple at Tel Asmar. Next is occupation and crafts. So the land in Mesopotamia was very fertile as the two rivers were flowing in this civilization, and they were benefited by the frequent floods. So the soil was very fertile. So the agriculture was the main occupation of the civilization. They produce wheat, barley, and pulses, vegetables, and fruits. Even you can see that they domesticated the animals. For example, cow, goats, oxen, sheep, and asses, where they used to make use of these animals for their benefit. Mesopotamian people are skilled craftsmen also. So there were goldsmiths, even blacksmiths. Even you can see that goldsmiths who made ornaments of gold, silvers, and coppers, and blacksmith who made the tools and armories, and even the weavers were found in this civilization. They made glassware as well. There were potters who made pots. As you can see in this figure, the picture shows a pottery, two pots which are made. We can see this type of pots in this civilization. Now we are going to study about Hammurabi and his code of law. So who is Hammurabi? He was a great king of this Mesopotamian civilization. He ruled during the period from 2067 BC to 2025 BC. One of his greatest achievements was his code of law. Now, what is code of law? What are the features in this code of law? We are going to study. His laws or code covered every aspect of life. These laws were 282 in number. So the code recognized the division of society into rich men, poor men, and slaves, and prescribed different punishments for different classes for the same crime. And you can see that the main principle of the code was that the strong shall not injure the weak. That means the richer people should not affect the weaker section. Third, the code also contained rules about family life, trading, treatment of workers. You can see there's a picture of a code of Hammurabi, and which is well preserved, and you can see that it was enacted by the 6th Babylonian king Hammurabi. Okay, now the next is the system of writing. System of writing. The Mesopotamians were the first to develop the art of writing in the world. They began it somewhere 4000 BC, first by drawing pictures. As you can see in the figure, this is one of the cuneiform script which was deciphered, and you can see that writing system in the world. They wrote on tablets of clay with the help of a reed or a bone, and it had a wedge-like point. So for this reason, their script came to be known as cuneiform script. What is cuneiform script? The system of writing used most extensively in the ancient Middle East. So they wrote with a sharp pen called stylus. Stylus is nothing but a sharp point used to make grooves on the surface. So you can see that they wrote from right to left like Urdu language script. So after writing on the clay tablets, they used to dry it in the sun or even bake in the fire. So these can be seen in the London Museum today and have been deciphered by the scholars. Okay, the next is the growth of knowledge. How the knowledge has been improved in this Mesopotamian civilization we are going to study. The Mesopotamians made a great contribution in the growth of knowledge. The thousands of clay tablets have been dug out from the under the earth, and at Tello in Samaria there was a big library which consisted 30,000 tablets, and the Tello library was perhaps the first library in the world. From these clay tablets, it appears that the Mesopotamians were interested in the literatures, especially in the stories, poems, hymns, and epics. So the Epic of Gilgamesh is the world famous. Epics means a poem where they explain about the adventures and the deeds of the king who ruled in that period. Okay, here in this picture you can see Gilgamesh, a king of Uruk, city of Mesopotamia. And Gilgamesh is the main character in the Epic of Gilgamesh, an Akkadian poem. Okay, so the second point of growth of knowledge is the Mesopotamian had interest in the mathematics also. So 60 was the important number in the numerals, and the system of counting was sexagesimal. So 60 number was important in the numbers. The third one is the Mesopotamians were quite good in astronomy. They had an observatory almost in every city, and from there they used to study about the planets and the stars, and they used to give the names to this. And here you can see one picture showing the signs of the Mesopotamian numerals. Here you can see a sign which is given for the 60 number. So students, you understood about the Mesopotamian civilization. So now I am going to recapitulation I am going to do for you. That is, I am going to rewind whatever I have taught you today. That is, the Mesopotamian civilization arose in 5000 BC. Hammurabi was a great king of Mesopotamia. He ruled during the period 2067 BC to 2025 BC. One of his greatest achievement was what? The code of law. The Mesopotamians were the first to develop the art of writing in the world. Okay, now you understood this topic, the Mesopotamian civilization. I am going to ask some questions related to this civilization. Okay, just tell me, name the two rivers on which the Mesopotamian civilization flourished. The first question. Next, name the chief god worshipped in Mesopotamia. Third, who was Hammurabi? Fourth, what was stylus? And the fifth one is define sexagesimal. Okay, so you are going to read the lesson of this topic and you are going to answer these questions. Thank you, children.